55 years ago, US President Nixon launched the biggest anti-drug campaign in history, declaring drugs the public enemy #1. Today we know that this campaign was a huge misstep, leading to higher crime rates, overcrowded prisons, reduced civil liberties, and broken communities. It's long overdue to rethink this still ongoing approach and replace it with better solutions. The main catch in the drug war campaign was the idea of no drugs, no problems. Normally this would make sense, since lower supply causes higher costs. Who would want to buy the expensive product then? Unfortunately, this isn't true for drugs. Drugs are consumed no matter how much they cost. And the high profit potential only motivates drug cartels to hire more workers to cover the hole in the market. Finding and eradicating the supply chains has proven to be incredibly difficult and immensely expensive. Despite decades of effort, only a tiny fraction of the supply is intercepted. For many teenagers around the world, it's almost as easy to get illegal drugs as it is to get alcohol. This gets especially dangerous because of prohibition. Making substances more potent is only an advantage for distribution. It's easier to smuggle smaller amounts. Unfortunately, it's also easier to overdose on them. New drugs such as fentanyl or nitazines are dozens or even hundreds of times more potent than morphine. Measuring them by hand is practically impossible, and using them is a gamble with life. Good old drugs, you could say. Many problems linked to drug use are actually made worse by the war on drugs itself. Even worse, many of the consequences are invisible, silently causing damage to our societies. Sending addicts to jail often worsens the situation, while cartels fight each other and drag entire regions into violence. So what's the way out? Luckily, the last decades have shown the first steps toward a better solution: harm reduction. First introduced in Switzerland in the 1980s after the drug situation got out of control. Instead of fighting addicts, we helped them. Clean needles, substitution therapies, and medical supervision allowed many people to get back to their normal lives. And suddenly, there's no one who would want to buy the dealer's drug. A few decades later, Portugal got into a similar situation. Roughly 1% of the population was addicted to heroin. It decided to try a similar approach. Overdose death fell by 90%, HIV infections by 80%, and paradoxically, it costs less than fighting an endless war and imprisoning people whose main problem is addiction. I hope this video changed your view on this issue, because I personally see things differently now, and I think it's very important to show this approach to many more people. Things have changed in the last 55 years, but we're still not where we could be. And perhaps the lesson of the war on drugs is that addiction is not a problem we can simply arrest away. Maybe hope and help can achieve what punishment alone never could.